Is this just a plain old trade war, or a carefully, as I see it, staged financial power play? Is America locking things down or steering the world into rules? This tariff war could be the perfect shot for DeFi to step into the spotlight for everyday investor, everyday people. Just like I guessed in my last video, those harsh tariff measures are getting delayed. Some folks are saying we are just getting a soft version of what could have been, very worse. But still, some folks are saying the crypto market is toast after this tariff war. They are saying that bear market signs are popping up. The bull run is totally over and Bitcoin was never digital gold anyway. Look at gold, how it's performing compared to Bitcoin now. But me, having been through years of bear markets, I don't buy that. Yesterday was Liberation Day and Trump finally dropped his tariff policy and the whole world started shaking. Yes, the US stock market lost $2 trillion in 15 minutes. Bitcoin crashed to 82 grand and crypto charts looked eerily similar. It was bad. And yeah, the impact on the crypto world isn't just a roller coaster anymore. It's a straight up drop tower collapsed. It collapsed. That being said, buried in this tariff tweak is actually some massive good news for crypto. Why? Stick around. It's coming. I'll explain that at the end of the video, but no rush off. Let me break down all of that for you. And while we are here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button or add me on Telegram. I'll start a channel soon. If you're interested in that, you can add my personal Telegram in the description and I'll shoot you a DM once it's on. Alright, back to business. Let's dive into the heart of this tariff policy. Trump flat out said he's making countries that keep ripping off America's whale pay the price. His tariff plans got two parts. The first is a flat 10% tariff on all imported goods, and the second one is extra steeper tariffs on countries that slap high tariffs on the US exports or throw up, unfair trade rules. What stuck with me yesterday was this. When Trump first mentioned the 10% universal tariff, everyone relaxed. They seemed to feel that was fair. So yeah, it was a good news and Bitcoin shot up to 88 grand in a flash. It was great news. But then he took a big dramatic pause and pulled out this huge chart packed with sky-high reciprocal tariffs and bam, market vibes tanked, dragging Bitcoin from 88k down to 82k. That's the culprit, right here. And what's very bad about that is, those stats he threw out comparing other countries' tariff on US goods, they were not even accurate. He claimed some nations hit US products with tariffs as high as 30%, 40%, even over 50%. But the truth is, those numbers aren't from real tariffs or trade barriers. They are inflated figures he got by dividing trade deficit by their export totals. Just a flimsy, excuse to justify his big tariff hikes. So yeah, at this point, you are probably thinking, can Trump really flip America's economic slide, with this one move? Honestly, like I said in my last tariff prediction video a few days ago, I think this loud tariff big move is more of a political flex and a strategic gamble to negotiate with the other countries. I used to do import-export business for years, so from where I'm standing, tariffs can jack up import cost and, in theory, shield local industries while racking in cash for the government. But they also hit American shoppers, citizens, normal people right in the wallet with higher prices, which sucks for traditional markets. It's inflation. You have to look at it that way. Tariffs don't just appear out of thin air. Companies pass those rising costs onto us. And in the end, every penny in our pockets gets squeezed when we buy stuff. So why am I saying this could actually be a hidden win for crypto and even decentralized finance as a whole? First off, once tariffs kick in, imported goods are gonna cost more. And long term, that's gonna fuel inflation, as I was saying. Plus, back in February, Trump axed the tax-free rule, for small imports under $800. in the US, small packages from AliExpress and Temu. So expensive stuff gets pricier and cheap little items go up too. So what happens? The dollar starts feeling less useful, less powerful. That's when the traditional financial system takes a hit. And people see central banks and governments meddling with markets non-stop. Trust in fiat drops, and they might just turn to something more transparent, more efficient and cheap, like decentralized finance. That's how I see, the impact it will have. For regular folks, that could mean jumping into the crypto market, maybe snapping up decentralized safe haven assets like Bitcoin. For companies, DeFi lets them handle cross-border trades without middlemen, which is super appealing for dodging traditional finance and even those, hefty tariffs. So I'm thinking this tariff war could be the perfect shot for DeFi to step into the spotlight for everyday investor, everyday people. And second, and this is what I think is the most important and the most likely, Trump's tariff policy might be setting up a global crypto test on purpose. That's how I see, things. These past few years, countries have been pushing to ditch the dollar and its global, kingpin status. This status is under fire. Meanwhile, the Fed and both, parties, Democrats and Republicans, are speeding up stablecoin laws, basically paving a road where the world has to use crypto. After all, tariffs hike up cross-border trade costs and the old-school dollar feels the pinch. So when the old system gets clunky, people naturally hunt for better options. That's natural. And decentralized crypto fits that gap perfectly. And once the world starts settling trades with crypto, stablecoins will be the go-to medium. And that's where it's really smart. Because right now, the biggest stablecoins, what are they? USDT, USDC, USDE, DAI. Those are stablecoins that are pegged to the dollar. And the new ones, we could speak about FDUSD and stuff like that, all pegged to the dollar. That means what? Even if the de-dollarization trend keeps growing, as long as global trade leans on crypto, the dollar can still hold its way. And as for countries that say no to crypto, they might face even tougher trade barriers. That would make life hard for their businesses, mess up supply chains, and eventually force them to cave to reality. So in other words, the US might be using this decentralized vibe to reshape the global financial system, nudging the world into a crypto era where the dollar still calls the shots. Of course, that's just my little theory based on this tariff policy and what I'm seeing those days. And the bottom line, Trump's nuke level reciprocal tariff plan won't show its true color until April 9th. It usually takes 1 week to see how Trump moves play. It's his negotiation style, So is this just a plain old trade war? Or a carefully, as I see it, staged financial power play? Is America locking things down or steering the world into rules it wrote? We will see. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think about all that. And if you like this video and the way I see things, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, share it around with your friends. And add me on Telegram, send me a message, discuss that with me. You know the drill. So, yeah, that's all for today. Merci et au revoir.